Peace to the gods and peace to the earths and all of the righteous families of the planet. Assalamu alaikum. It's your big brother Fahiym, back once again. I got a presentation that I want to do on this bill, but this is just a quick introduction to it. It deals with our lessons, because again, I promised you guys that this is a teacher-student channel, so we mostly deal with the lessons and what it encompasses, as far as, just it's the exegesis of what the teachings are conveying to us, and what the messenger taught concerning the lessons, and also what the Father taught concerning our supreme wisdom or 120 lessons. That's 5%ers. Today I want to just build on something briefly in this little CLR rule bill, real brief, because it's just, man, I don't know, man. Y'all dudes is real, my brothers in the nation of gods and earths, Let me explain something to y'all, because I hear brothers always harp on this point, in our lessons where it says these answers were answered very near correct. And I hear a lot of brothers harp on this. They focus so much on this and draw so much attention to it, as if to say, like, hell, Elijah Muhammad ain't know what he was talking about. That's why Master Father Muhammad said they was answered very near correct. So it took the Father to leave the mosque and stop following all that religious stuff and start his nation, and he made knowledge born. He came and taught us what everything really meant. And, it's amazing. Because what's amazing about it is that brothers just talk and you don't even know the full story. You talk and you don't even know what went down. I mean, I was always taught a wise man doesn't guess. He doesn't speak out of term. He speaks on what is actually factually information. That's what I was always taught. I mean, my enlightener, I'm not talking about my enlighteners when I was in the nation of gods and earths. I'm talking about my enlighteners when I came to the nation of Islam. It was always said that the Father and the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, there was no difference in understanding when it came on to the lessons. The Father did not have a problem with Elijah Muhammad's answers in the questions, the lessons, period. Because, he would have changed a lot of stuff. He would have changed so many things. All through that lesson where it said Muslim, he would have took that out. Where it says Islam, he would have just took Islam out and replaced Islam with I God and called I God something completely different. He would have did this. Y'all say he took the skunk out. No one is able to show and prove why. What was the Father's reasons for doing this? No, nothing. Y'all just speak, and it's like, okay, show some sort of documentation. Show some sort of audio or video of the Father doing this. Like, nothing. It's just hearsay. That's religious. Y'all dudes know what y'all do? Do you? I tell brothers all the time, man, when I first got knowledge of self and I came, I was with the 5% nation of gods and earths, it was like this. I had blinders on. I couldn't see nothing else but just, But after coming into the nation of Islam and studying with the Muslim God brothers and studying the true teachings and the meanings of what the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad gave us, it was almost like now it's like, woof, like the blinders was taken off, and I'm like, oh, wow. You know, my whole peripheral is clear. Like I can see all over there, all in front of me, all up there, all down, because it's just so much y'all don't know. So much y'all don't know. And when I question y'all on certain things, I know you don't know. It's almost like a person just speaking on adult, grown-up business. You know, like a child comes in a room with adults and they're talking and then he leaves out of the room or, you know, and tries to go back and tell his friends what they were talking about. But he's a child, so a lot of things he doesn't understand clearly, so he can't even properly convey what was being said. This is y'all dudes, man. Y'all have to get back into y'all studies, man. Out of the nation of gods and earths, 5%ers, I would say, and you know, I would say, man, more than 50%. I would say at least 60 to 70% of brothers in the nation of gods and earths have not read Message to the Black Man. They've not read Fall of America. They've not read Our Savior Has Arrived. They've not read How to Eat to Live, Book 1 and 2. They've not read the Theology of Time lecture series, which was put in book form. As Moses gave the children of Israel 5 books, which was called law, the Pentateuch, or whatever you want to call it, you know, the Torah. So it is with the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. He gave us 5 books to study and read. Because when we read these books, we see that the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad now is speaking as a grown man. He's not speaking as a baby. When he quoted those lessons in 1934, this is the reason why Master Fard Muhammad put that disclaimer, if you will, on there to let you know these answers are answered very near correct, but he wants you to quote them, memorize them, commit them to memory so you can be able to quote them, know them by heart so you can be able to quote them to your captain or your lieutenant or whoever, you know, or your enlightener, whoever it is that's, you know, giving you this knowledge or this information. And then now you begin to read other sources of material along with studying the life and times of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, so now that you can gain a clear understanding of what's going on. Look at the time span. The messenger quoted those lessons in 1934. The messenger started putting books out like around the the mid 60s, like 64, 65, 66, 67, all into the 70s. The messenger, now look how many years he's grown. The messenger told us himself. I quoted those lessons from Master Fard Muhammad when I was a baby. If he could ask me those same questions again, the messenger said, this was in the 60s, the messenger said that. Late 50s, early 60s. The messenger said, if I could be asked those same questions again, I'd write volumes of books. Just on one question, I could write volumes of books. Master Fard Muhammad, after giving the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad his first term examination, which is our 120 lessons, before departing from us, he gave the messenger a list of books, 104 books to go seek out and read. Most of these books dealt with, you know, aspects of Prophet Muhammad and how he went about establishing Islam in the peninsula of Arabia, as America is a peninsula as well. And the messenger would have to carry out a lot of those same methods today in order to be successful as Muhammad, salatu wasalam, was successful back during his time. The messenger would have to do that today. In just a 23-year period, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, was successful. Because before leaving this earth, he had people come to him and say, La ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasulullah. You know, we bear witness that there's no God but Allah and Muhammad is his messenger. The Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad was successful. Before leaving this earth, or before leaving among us. I'm going to say it like that. Before leaving or departing from among us, the messenger gave us clear understanding of all of the lessons. All of them. When you read his books, it's all in there. Everything. The messenger once stated, he said, I have been made equal in knowledge with Allah himself. Allah has made me equal in knowledge to him. The messenger said, I have power over the sun, moon, and the stars. I control the winds and the seas. I've waited over 379 years for this day. The messenger came out one day and made this proclamation. Eli and Jah. His name, God, Elijah. We see him more than just a mere messenger. He was a messenger, an apostle, but he was God. He was the first prophet or messenger that Allah, most glorified and exalted, raised up to the level of God. Made him a God like unto himself. So this is just a little quick presentation, a quick introduction. I'm going to do a build on just some of the things in our lessons that were maybe answered very near correct, that a lot of brothers, still today don't understand. Oh, see, Elijah Muhammad didn't get that right. He didn't get the OC. Read his books, brothers. Read his books. My enlightener told me that the father, one of his famous things the father used to always say when he was in the mosque was, let's get Elijah on the phone. Let's get Elijah on three-way, or let's get the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. Let's get the messenger on the phone. And I bet you he'll agree. He'll tell you what I'm saying is right and exact. He'll agree with me. But the way you brothers have gone so far from the teachings now, it's like Elijah Muhammad you get him on the phone and say some of the foolishness and the madness. Y'all say the messenger be like, what the hell? Like, what? When did I say that? What? Where? I said that? When? When the messenger met with the 5 percenters, the messenger looked at us and he adored us. He spoke highly of us. But these were the Muslim God 5 percenters. Of course, they didn't go around and call themselves Muslim gods. They didn't have to do that. Because this was a time when everybody was on Islam, loving Islam. So people knew that they were Muslims, and they knew that they were Muslims. They knew that their nature was Muslim. Universal Sham God came out and said the Father said that. If the nature of the original man is righteousness and that is Muslim, then we're all Muslims by nature. But it's just the early 5 percenters always mostly focused on getting people to understand, wait, okay, yeah, my nature is Islam or my nature is Muslim because I have a nature that is inclined towards doing righteousness, but I'm God. I'm God. And I tell people the same thing. I'm a Muslim first at the end of the day before anything else, because my nature is to strive always to do the will of righteousness, or to live according to these universal laws of nature. But at the end of the day, I'm God. I'm Allah. God, Allah is in me and I am in him. We are one. He makes us equal in knowledge with him and raises us up to the level of supremacy. So, man, read the messenger's books. Before y'all start speaking on stuff y'all don't know, please go and look what the messenger said. Because again, when I came into the Nation of Islam and I started looking at what the messenger said, I'm like, wow, Elijah Muhammad said that? Wow, Elijah Muhammad said that? Well, I was always told the Father was the one that came up with, wow, so it's like, damn, but what did the Father come up with? We credit him with the supreme alphabet and the supreme mathematics, but Elijah Muhammad, really, that's his work. He plagiarized that really from the messenger, if you read the messenger's books. So he said nothing different from his teacher. Nothing. They were like this in accord. The Father didn't have a problem with the messenger. The Father had a problem with the Negroes in the mosque or the temple. That's who he had a problem with. Minister Malcolm and some of those other ministers, you know, back then in Temple Number 7 up in New York. The Father had a problem with them because he looked at them and seen that they were spooked out. And I can bear the Father witness on that because, yes, some of the brothers in the Nation of Islam are spooked out. But most of the brothers in the Nation of Islam, they aren't spooked out because why? We read, we study. This is something we do upon entering the mosque. It ain't just hearsay. Oh, Elijah said this, Elijah said that. Yeah, Elijah said this and Elijah said that, but do you know why he said that? The messenger once made a statement. He said, you know, it's not necessary to call a white man, to keep calling the white man the devil all the time. Why? Because our people act just like this white man. We do some of the most heinous acts just like this cracker does. So it's almost like a contradiction to keep calling him or referring to him as that. Call him the slave master's children or the enemy. It's more, in fact, it's more proper to say that than to always be devil, the white man, the devil, the white man, the devil, the white man, the devil. Well, yeah, we know he the devil. The messenger said, no, I'm not saying he's not the devil no more. Yeah, he's still the devil. But this is the context in which it should be taught. Why we don't have anything with the Father saying that? The Father said, hey, we taking skunk out the planet Earth. Well, why did he say that? Nobody can tell you. I've heard brothers say, oh, well, yeah, you know, just get past the name calling and, you know, we want to get past the name calling. So you calling him a colored man, a grafted man, a white devil. White people would rather be called white devil, a skunk than white devil. Because that's more, in fact, you're more pointing a finger at them when you say that. So come on, brothers, man. Read the messenger's books, man, before y'all just speak out of terms. You look ignorant out here on these streets. Y'all looking crazy out here on these streets. Read what the messenger said first before going saying, oh, the Father, he came up with some newfound understanding that Elijah didn't even know and Fard Muhammad didn't even know. Yeah, he was deeper than them. Yeah. Y'all dudes is retarded, man. I'm going to come back with a presentation, Bill, on just some of the things in the lessons that you Negroes probably didn't even know. But you're still going around saying the messenger was wrong. When the messengers cleared that up in the 60s and in the 70s. But you don't know. So I'll come back with that, Bill, inshallah. You know, but it's just a quick thought in the morning, man. But at the end of the day, man, yo, get on your studies, man. Stop looking retarded out here in these streets. With that being said, I'll leave you as I came in the greeting words of peace. We said in Arabic language. Assalamu alaikum. Peace to the gods, peace to the earths.